D426 Study Guide, Red Text Only, Exam Questions. Analysis. Database design phases. This phase specifies database requirements without regard to a specific database system. Requirements are represented as entities, relationships, and attributes. Foreign key. Question on keys. This type of key is a column or group of columns that refer to a primary key. The names of these keys and primary keys may be different, but the data types must be the same. Int. Question about integers. This type of integer is equal to 4 bytes. Insert. SQL statement. This command inputs rows into a table. Merge. SQL statement question. The underscore 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 statement selects data from one table, called the source, and inserts the data into another table, called the target. Literals. SQL question. Strings must be surrounded by single quotes or double quotes. This is part of a description of underscore 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 underscore. Database administrator. Database role. What role is responsible for securing the database system against unauthorized users? This role enforces procedures for user access and database system availability. Query processor. Architecture question. This interprets queries, creates a plan to modify the database or retrieve data, and returns query results to the application. Union. Relational operations question. Which operation selects all rows of two tables? Cell. Question about tables. A underscore 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 is a single column of a single row. Relationship. Database design related question. A n underscore 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 is a link between entities. Bigent. Question about integers. This type of integer is equal to 8 bytes. Logical design. Database design related question. This phase implements database requirements in a specific database system. Data type. During creation, each column is assigned a underscore 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 that indicates the format of column values. These can be numeric, textual, or complex. Auto-incrementing column. What kind of column is a numeric column that is assigned an automatically incrementing value when a new row is inserted? Logical design. Name for the second phase of database design. Rules. Database special requirements. Database systems ensure data is consistent with structural and business underscore 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 underscore. Application Programming Interface, API. Database design related question. To simplify the use of SQL with a general purpose language, database programs typically use a, n, underscore 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 date. Data type question. This data type stores year, month, and day. Delete. SQL statement question. What statement removes existing rows from a table? Data definition language, DDL. SQL sublanguages. This defines the structure of the database. From. SQL statement question: which keyword follows delete in a delete statement to specify the table name where rows are to be deleted? Data manipulation language, DML. SQL sublanguages: this language manipulates data stored in databases. Storage manager. Architecture question: this translates the query processor instructions into low-level file system commands that modify or retrieve data. Drop table. Question about tables: what statement deletes a table along with all the table's rows from a database? Smallint. Question about integers: this type of integer is equal to 2 bytes. Truncate. SQL statement question: what statement deletes all rows from a table? Open source. Is the MongoDB database engine open source, private, free, or commercial? Table. Question about tables: a underscore 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 has a name, a fixed sequence of columns, and a varying set of rows. Create table. SQL statement: this statement makes a new table by specifying the table and column names. Alter table. Question about tables: what statement adds, deletes, or modifies columns on an existing table, omitting values for primary keys that are not in auto-incrementing columns? Users occasionally make this error when inserting primary keys into an auto-incrementing column. This is not a repeat question. Table. Data structure organization question: a n underscore 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 has a name, a fixed tuple of columns, and a varying set of rows. Simple primary key. What kind of primary key consists of a single column? Medium int. Question about integers: this type of integer is equal to 3 bytes. References. A foreign key constraint is added to a create table statement with foreign key and underscore 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 keywords. Integer. Data type question: this data type represents positive and negative integers and has several variations. NoSQL. What is the MongoDB database engine type? Literals. SQL question: explicit values that are string, numeric, or binary are called underscore 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 underscore. Examples are string, string 123 x0 fa2. Data control language, DCL. SQL sublanguages: this language controls the database user access. Row. Question about tables: a underscore 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 is an unnamed sequence of values. Each value corresponds to a column and belongs to the column's data type. Logical. Database design related question: for relational database systems, this type of design converts entities, relationships, and attributes into tables, keys, and columns. Metadata. General database systems question: this is data about the database, such as column names, number of rows in a table, etc. Int. Data type question: this data type stores integer values. Decimal. Data type question. This data type stores fractional numeric values. Authorization. Many database users should have limited access to specific tables, columns, or rows of a database. What database special requirement allows database systems to allow individual users access to specific data? Data Transaction Language, DTL. SQL sublanguages. This language manages database transactions. Varchar, N. Question about data types underscore 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 is used for values with 0 to n characters. File, relation. Synonyms for table. Aggregate. Relational operations question. Which operation computes functions over multiple table rows, such as sum and count? Record, tuple. Synonyms for row. Insert, update, delete. These three statements are rejected when a foreign key constraint is specified if they violate referential integrity. Primary key. Question on keys. A underscore 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 is a column or group of columns used to identify a row. Tangent. Question about integers. This type of integer is equal to 1 byte. Error code. MySQL related question. MySQL returns a, n, underscore 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 and description when an SQL statement is syntactically incorrect or the database cannot execute the statement. Set. SQL statement question. The update statement uses what clause to specify new column values? Composite primary key. What kind of primary key consists of multiple columns? Equals. This operator compares two values for inequality. Data query language, DQL. SQL sublanguages. This language retrieves data from the database. Physical design. Database design related question. This phase adds indexes and specifies how tables are organized on storage media. Date. Question about data types underscore 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 is used for date values. Data independence. Database design related question. The principle that physical design never affects query results is called underscore 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 underscore. Keywords. SQL question. Words with special meaning are called underscore 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 underscore. Examples. Select, from, where, restrict. Referential integrity constraints underscore 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 rejects an insert, update, or delete that violates referential integrity. Analysis. Name for the first phase of database design. Primary key. Question on keys. This key is usually a table's first column. Transaction manager. Architecture question, the underscore 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 ensures the following: ensures transactions are properly executed, prevents conflicts between concurrent transactions, restores the database to a consistent state in the event of transaction or system failure. Row. Data structure organization question, n underscore 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 is an unnamed tuple of values. Each value corresponds to a column and belongs to the column's data type. Percent, modulo. Integer operator question, this operator divides one numeric value by another and returns the integer remainder. Update. SQL statement question, what statement modifies existing rows in a table? Varchar. Data type question, this data type stores textual values. Select. SQL statement, this command retrieves data from a table. Select. Relational operations question, which operation selects a subset of rows of a table? A mistake. Overriding auto-increment for a primary key is usually underscore 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 decimal MD. Question about data types underscore 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 is used for numeric values with m digits of which d digits follow after the decimal point. Tuple. Relational data structure question, what is an ordered collection of elements enclosed in parenthesis called? Example, A, B, C, and C, B, A, are different. Attribute. Database design related question, n underscore 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 is a descriptive property of an entity. Create table. Question about tables, what statement creates a new table by specifying the table name, column names, and column data types? Physical design. Name for the third phase of database design. Analysis. Database design related question, the following are other names for what phase? Conceptual design, entity relationship modeling, and requirements definition. Column. Question about tables, a underscore 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 has a name and a data type. Data type. Data type question, underscore 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 is a named set of values for which column values are drawn. Data type. Data structure organization question, n underscore 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 is a named set of values, from which column values are drawn. Physical. Database design related question, this kind of design affects query processing speed but never affects the query result. Database application. A underscore 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 is software that helps business users interact with database systems. MySQL command line client. MySQL related question, this is a text interface included in the MySQL server download. Comments. SQL question, statements intended only for humans and ignored by the database when parsing in SQL statement are called underscore 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 underscore. Example, for single line, / for multiline / indexes. Database sizes range from megabytes to many terabytes, so the storage manager uses underscore 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 to quickly locate data. Literals. SQL question, binary values are represented with x0, where the 0 is any hex value. This is part of a description of underscore 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 identifiers. SQL question underscore 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 are objects from the database like tables, columns, etc. Examples: city, name, population. Query optimization. Architecture question, the query processor performs underscore 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 to ensure the most efficient instructions are executed on the data. Business rules. Relational rules question, what rules are based on business policy and are specific to a particular database? Update. SQL statement, this command modifies data in a table. Data independence. Question about table, what allows database administrators to improve query performance by changing the organization of data on storage devices without affecting query results? Join. Relational operations question, which operation combines two tables by comparing related columns? Manually inserting values for primary keys in an auto-incrementing column. Users occasionally make this error when inserting primary keys into an auto-incrementing column. This is not a repeat question. Column. Data structure organization question, n underscore 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 has a name and a data type, field, attribute. Synonyms for column. Delete. SQL statement, this command deletes rows from a table. Int or integer. Question about data types, underscore 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 is used for integer values.